What is up, crypto peeps? So today I wanted to go over the 3 coins that you guys chose in the Discord, do an analysis and a brief overview of them, as well as give a portfolio update because I haven't done that in quite a while, and show you why I made a play on 500 NEO and 7,500 WABI coins. So the 3 coins that you guys chose were Ethereum, NEO, and WABI. Thank you for voting, by the way. For those of you that aren't in the Discord, join the Discord. It's free. We're having a lot of interesting crypto discussions, really productive ones, and learning from each other. And you also get to vote what goes in these videos. And you also get a chance to sign up for the trade alerts that I have set up here, where NEO was part of them and WABI was also part of them. So let's get right into it. So with NEO, actually, you know what? Let's do a portfolio update. So I'm going to put a screenshot of my portfolio here. I've decided to leave out the total amounts. Back in the day, I used to put in the amounts, but I don't know, it's counterproductive. I can show you the percentages of what I hold. I think people tend to get really enamored. I mean, there's 2 things happen. Either people get really enamored with the amount of money or the amount of coins that you have, and 2, people get really jealous, or let's say, you know, they have a lot of criticism for a certain number of, or a certain amount of money that you have in coins. So I'm not gonna do that anymore unless you guys really ask for it, and if an overwhelming majority of you ask for it, maybe I'll reincorporate that. But for now, I'd rather keep to the percentages. The amount is not important. That way you can get a sense for the proportion and the balance in my portfolio, whether you're dealing with, whether you have $100 to trade with or $100,000 to trade with. That's irrelevant. What's relevant is the proportions and the ability, your ability to diversify and get in and out of trades productively. I think that's what's important. So I'm going to leave the amounts out for now. But I'll tell you here and then, you know, if I bought like 7,500 WABI, I'll tell you that. But you don't need to know the entirety of the portfolio. So here's what my portfolio looks like now. If you guys were chatting with me on Discord, you'll know that I invested more into Ethereum lately and liquidated some of my Bitcoin. I totally got rid of my Litecoin. I am heavy into Icon, NEO. Ethereum Classic is a surprise, and if you follow the trade alerts, you'll see why I actually picked Ethereum Classic. If you guys want a video on that, I might do it. But I went through the whole analysis of it in the trade alerts. You'll see WABI there. Ripple kind of holding on for dear life. Yeah, I still think it's a good long-term hold, but lately it's shown a lot of weakness. POE, Dash, HSR, Gas, ADA, and AirSwap. That is what my portfolio consists of now, and you'll see the percentages there if you want to get a sense for how I am diversified at the moment. All right, if you have any questions on that, leave it in the comments or hit me up on the Discord. So let's get right into the analysis. Let me remove this fib retracement. So I had sent out a trade alert for NEO, and NEO not only looks good chart-wise, but also in the fundamentals. And for those that don't know what NEO is dubbed the Chinese Ethereum. Although I don't know if that's fair, but they are looking to create a smart economy ecosystem. They're really tied or have good relations with the Chinese government and the Chinese corporate world, which is very important, especially in a country that always seems to want to crack down on crypto. The thing that we've seen with China in the past is that they're very accepting of technology if it's in-house. So there's a Chinese Facebook, there's a Chinese Twitter, there's a Chinese Amazon, even though Amazon, Facebook, and Twitter are frowned upon and sometimes banned in China. The Chinese versions of them are basically upheld and promoted, and they're allowed to go on. So I think that's a good sign for NEO. NEO seems to be more robust than Ethereum in the sense that it's multilingual. It can support multiple coding languages as opposed to Ethereum, which has its own proprietary one. And again, if you're subscribed to the Patreon, then you get these top weekly picks. NEO was on there. But in here, I do have an explanation of some of the fundamentals for why NEO is promising. It's an open source public smart contracts platform. Unlike Ethereum, it supports multiple coding languages. We talked about that. It seems to have the support of the Chinese government. We talked about that. NEO has the backing of the business community in China. We talked about that. The thing that differentiates NEO from a lot of other coins is it pays out dividends in gas. And gas is also a tradable asset. Gas is basically the token that runs along the NEO network that makes NEO work. So not only do you get gas if you hold NEO, but gas is also something that you can purchase and sell. So it's an asset. All right, enough about the fundamentals. Let's go to the chart real quick. So basically what we saw on the chart, or the reason that I had sent out a trade alert, was I went back to mid of last year. This is the daily chart for NEO. And if you do a retracement and you pick that point as your peak, and this right here is where the 0 level of the fib goes, you see that the next levels, the 1272 and the 1618, are at what is that? 1,456,000 satoshis and 1,784,000 satoshis. So this was essentially the next target up. And the reason that I thought that we would recently hit that is because of this uptrend right here. So there was a really violent uptrend in NEO, as you could see here. And it was shooting through all of the recent resistance. So there was resistance here, which is also around the 382 Fibonacci level. And you'll see that, for those of you who are new to Fibonacci's, you'll see that a lot of the retracements and the support and resistance lines happen either right at or right around these Fibonacci ratios. And that's why they're called magic ratios sometimes. And here is the former resistance line. You could see that it's almost exactly at the 618 level. So if we were going to shoot or target the next level besides this high right here, which is obviously at the 1, the next level that we were shooting for was the 1272, which we ended up hitting yesterday. So I sent the trade alert somewhere around here, with a stop limit set at the 618 level in case it retraced to there. Because if it went back to the 618 level, chances are at some point it would decline further in a downtrend, and you could pick it up at even a cheaper rate. So that's why I had set the stop limit right there. NEO is definitely a good long-term hold based on the fundamentals and based on the recent trading activity. You could see that there isn't actually a lot of volume here. So NEO was able to establish this sudden uptrend and hit all-time highs and close above the all-time highs without that much volume. So imagine when volume starts coming in, and a lot of people suspect that after Chinese New Year's, you'll see a lot more activity coming out of Asia, and this being a Chinese project, that would definitely, it would definitely take advantage of that, if that behavior, if that was the case. So imagine when more volume starts coming into NEO. So can you buy NEO right now? Yes, I think you can justify it. Although just know that you're buying at the high, and anytime that you buy at the high, you are going to feel every single ripple effect, every downtrend, every retracement, every correction. You will feel it in your portfolio. As long as you know that and you're the type of trader that's able to hold on to it long term, then you'll be fine. But don't expect NEO, unless there's an overall market correction, don't expect NEO to retrace back down to these levels anytime soon. If anything, it might retrace back down to this 1 level or maybe the 786 level, but I don't think it's going to retrace all the way down. Again, unless there is something catastrophic that happens in the news or there's an overall market correction that just, puts a dent in the entire market. All right, WABI, let's look at WABI. So what is WABI? If you take a look at their website and their white paper, you will see, where's their white paper? Right here. So WABI is a service that their goal is a rather, let's say, ambitious one, right? They're looking to stamp out or help stamp out counterfeit activity in China. And for those of you that are familiar with Chinese business practices, counterfeit behavior is very prevalent. It's actually a cornerstone of the Chinese economy. Now, it's fine if you're talking about Louis Vuitton handbags and whatnot. I guess, that's arguable, but it's not life-threatening. But when it comes to baby formula, when it comes to toothpaste or health products, there's been a lot of deaths in China from these counterfeit food products and counterfeit health products. So that's where they laid their focus on first, is on baby food, alcohol, cosmetics, and pharmaceuticals. And they're looking to branch out into other products after a successful deployment. So essentially what they do is there are RFID tags that are posted onto the products themselves, and those RFID tags, there's a link between the digital and the physical asset. So the RFID tag is tied to an ID in the blockchain itself. So it can't be tampered with, I guess, and then you can verify the authenticity of that product. And then they're also using blockchain, excuse me, and then they're also using blockchain, a blockchain-based loyalty program. So the more you use WABI and the app, the more points you get, and I assume the more tokens or some sort of WABI credit, gets posted to your WABI account. So it's a rather ambitious undertaking. They definitely have their work cut out for them. But if there's anywhere in the world where that can benefit from a service that's looking to eliminate or mitigate counterfeit activity, China is definitely the locale for that. And so WABI, another Chinese, blockchain service, is a project that people are really excited about in terms of fundamentals. Now, because WABI is new, we don't have a ton of chart activity to go off on, but there is one thing that's promising, and I did send out a trade alert for WABI as well. So if we look at, this is the 4-hour chart, obviously you see the wedge forming here. If we do a retracement from a previous high to where the bull run started, you'll see that currently the price of, what are we at, 21,427 Satoshis. We're right now in the 236 to 382 level. So if you are bullish on WABI's fundamentals and you are expecting WABI to gain steam, then this is definitely the cheapest price that you can get it for based on this retracement. I mean, the next level down would be, the 0 to 236. So that's why I think between the 236 and 382 level is a great price range to pick up some WABI. And a couple of other really optimistic signs is, look at the volume here. There isn't much volume, whereas there was a ton of green volume here and not a lot of red volume. So that means that people are actually held on to their WABI, and there weren't a ton of sell-offs or institutional sell-offs at all. So there isn't a lot of volume here. So look for some activity to happen in the price when the volume does kick up, and look at the stochastic RSI. And for those that are unfamiliar with that, in simple terms, if it's below 30, which is this line right here, it's considered oversold. Just take a look at the previous stochastic readings and you can see what that means. So once an asset is oversold, and especially if you're looking at a longer term chart, like a 4-hour chart or a day chart, then you could see these a little more clearly. But once something is oversold, it usually gets right back on the path up the stochastic to being overbought, and this is at the 80 level. So once it's under the 30, it's considered oversold. Once it's above the 80, it's considered overbought. Obviously, those are simplistic terms. You can read more about the RSI, and I implore you to do so for your own edification. But seeing this is along with the low volume, along with this wedge right here, and the fact that we have a long way to retrace back up to just the 1 level or the 1 ratio on the RSI, those are all really good signs. And I did a profit loss calculation earlier. So if you purchase it at current levels and we hit the 1 target on the RSI, you stand to make around 81%. So WABI is definitely a strong buy right now. Obviously, set your stop limits. I had set my stop limit. You could see here 15% below the buy price from the current buy price. Lastly, we'll take a look at Ethereum, and if you followed me for a while, you'll know that I'm extremely bullish on Ethereum, even more than Bitcoin. I'm actually using Ethereum as a asset in which to park my coins. I don't use Tether anymore. Check my video from yesterday why that is. And I'm not using Bitcoin. I'm actually parking my coins in Ethereum. I think Ethereum is a better long-term bet. Bitcoin is definitely a revolutionary product. It came at a time when nothing else existed like it, but in terms of robustness and scalability, it's definitely having issues right now. And I think that that's part of the reason that it's suffering in the price department. But Ethereum for the future is a lot more robust. You could see the list of, these are all the tokens that are based on Ethereum, and there's some big names here. EOS, Tron, OMG, BNB, which is the Binance token, Augur. There's just a ton of coins that are based on Ethereum because it is robust. And I think that smart contracts, apart from payment platforms, which is one of the main uses of blockchain, or intended main uses of blockchain, smart contracts is the other. And I think that smart contracts are definitely the way of the future. There will be no industry there won't be an industry that won't be touched by smart contracts. Everything from legal to payments to entertainment, everything will entail some sort of smart contract platform. And I think Ethereum is the mainstay or the bedrock of that. So taking a look at Ethereum's chart, I mean, Ethereum has sustained the last couple of pullbacks really well. I mean, it's been a true bull in all sense of the word, just putting its head down, facing the crashes or the pullbacks head on. If you look at this is the 50-day moving average, this is the 100-day moving average, still trading well above that. The couple times that you see these wicks come down and touch I guess there was a couple times. There was time here and a time here. It jumps right back up. It doesn't even want to get anywhere near it. Me and a lot of other people predict that Ethereum will be, between $5,000 and $10,000 by the end of 2018, and actually might finally kick Bitcoin off of the top of the chart. And I think that's a good off the top of the market cap chart. And I think that's a good thing for one reason, because currently everything is based on Bitcoin. And we have to get to a point in the crypto market where we are not just tied to one asset, where things can happen to Bitcoin and other assets or the entire market be just fine. We have to get to that point where things are normalized in that sense. So looking at the one day chart of Ethereum, again, it's nowhere near the 50 or 100-day moving averages. There's a continued uptrend here. I mean, this is pretty damn obvious. You might, over the next few days, see it move kind of in this continuation, this consolidation pattern right here. And it might bounce around in here for a while until things become clearer with Bitcoin. And I think that eventually it will just take off and start testing the previous all-time highs of around $1,400. And what we're going to use with Ethereum is a tool called the Fib extension. You've probably seen me use the retracement as I did in the last couple of graphs. The Fib extension is similar. I suggest you read up on it, but basically it measures 3 points instead of 2 points, and it measures a rise, so from a swing low to a swing high, back to a swing low, and then it attempts to give you resistance levels and support levels for future price ranges. So we can start from the previous low point here, up to the peak, back down to the next low point. And you could see that the 618 level, which is considered one of these magic ratios, is at $1,416, which is almost close to the previous high. So that's where we're aiming for as our first target, right? Is get to the high first. And then hopefully we see Ethereum break that. The next target that we can aim for is the 786, which is $1,532, followed by the 1 ratio at $1,679. So you can kind of use these as targets. Again, as I've said in the past, no indicator is going to give you an exact target price or an exact level that the asset or the coin will be at, but it's better than arbitrary numbers, right? It gives you targets to shoot for based on pre-calculations that have already been made. So Ethereum is definitely a good long-term hold. Again, just like with NEO, you're kind of buying at the high now. Actually, you're kind of getting a discount, right? Because the all-time high was close to 1,400 and it's trading at 1060 right now. I definitely loaded up on Ethereum in the last dip where I bought a bunch at around 800. And again, just keep in mind with Ethereum that yes, it's a great long-term hold. And you know, if you had the liquidity and you're looking for a great long-term hold or a secure coin or asset to put your money into, Ethereum would definitely be it. I would actually choose Ethereum over Bitcoin as we've discussed, but just know that you're buying near the high. So any ripple effects or downtrends you're going to feel in your portfolio. You are definitely getting a discount though at around 1060 if you know we're basing it off the all-time high of 1400 and we are expecting it to eventually break from that. So it is still at a discount. I would not be afraid to buy this. I don't think I would set really any aggressive stop losses on Ethereum. Ethereum is one of those assets or coins where if the market really is tanking, it will sustain itself to the point where you have time to react, as opposed to needing to set pretty aggressive stop losses. If you want to set a stop loss, feel free to. I'm probably not going to set a stop loss with Ethereum. Again, it's one of those that gives you the luxury of time to react. And I plan on holding as much Ethereum as possible long term because I'm that bullish on it. You saw my portfolio from earlier. Most of my portfolio now consists of Ethereum. So there you have it. If you have any questions, hit me up on the Discord. I'm always chatting with the group. Sign up to the Patreon if you want custom trade alerts and the weekly topics. Again, it's completely optional. Don't forget to comment and thumbs up. Leave your crypto addresses in the comment. We're going to be doing a Bitcoin giveaway at 10,000 YouTube subscribers. Again, the Discord is free. Join the Discord. Most importantly, subscribe here for more crypto talk, trading strategy, and crypto news. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.